Mic check. Welcome back to Rods and Reloads. I am Luke, behind the camera is Tara. In today's video, we're gonna go over our boat that we use for all of our videos here on Rods and Reloads. What we have here is a 2017 G3CCJ. This is a front center console with a tunnel hull. This boat is equipped with a 150/105 Yamaha Outboard Jet Drive. 150/105 meaning it is a 150 head and it is a 105 equivalent prop to the jet, because you do lose 30% power, 30% efficiency when you have a jet drive. This boat is 20 foot 2 inches long in the hull. With the motor, it is 24 foot 6 inches. It has a 97-inch beam, so it is super wide in the back for some awesome stability. Let's go head up to the front of the boat and we're gonna go over from the front all the way to the engine and give you guys some details about this boat. This boat is paired with a Minn Kota Tarova 80-pound thrust short shaft, 24-volt trolling motor, iPilot, iLink. It has all the juice you want. Two 225-watt LED 9-inch circles lets us see all the crazy hazards in the river at night. Let's get in the boat and I'm going to show you guys some of the features on the inside. Storage hatch. It holds all the life jackets and the throwable. It's not a huge space, but it does hold a good amount. You can see it's a little wet. Not going to say why that is. In front of that, we have the seat pedestal base right there. And we did pair this boat with 2 brush clamps, one on each side. So if we get up to brush, we can clamp onto that. All right, behind the front deck, we have the front center console. This has all the switches, the throttle, the steering wheel. It has the base for my 93 SV Garmin. And it also has an aftermarket cup holder, and I did transition the USB cigarette plug to a new standard USB 3.0 there in the bottom left. On each side of the front center console, we have storage units. This is where I hold all of my tackle, my just random things, my wrenches, tackle, slings, scales, you name it, it goes in the side compartments. The bad part about the 2017 model is these are very short for rods. You can't hold anything over like a 6-foot rod. It just doesn't fit. But in the newer models of the CCJ, they actually shortened, lengthened the front deck and the side storage and brought the console back just a little bit. But you do lose a little bit of that rear room, which is the benefit of the 2017. It has a lot more rear room because the center console is so far forward. Underneath the center console is actually the 2 batteries for the trolling motor, for the 24-volt system and the headlights. And they do come stock with this open, so you can actually see the batteries on underneath here. I didn't like that, so I actually had a custom vinyl cover made with buttons on here to cover up this because I thought it looked kind of messy. Behind the console, we have the driver's seat, which is on a swivel. Underneath the driver's seat, we have a really nice sized live well here. This is typically where I store some of my bait or some of the walleye. If I'm walleye fishing and I'm keeping some fish, I'll usually put them in this and not use the rear live well, which I'll show you just in a second. That's a little bit bigger than this one. And in the rear of the boat, on the vinyl floor, the whole floor is vinyl. The rest is just bare aluminum on top. It's not the grippy like on the deluxe version. It is very slippery when it's wet. So I did put some grip tape strips along parts of the boat where I usually would almost fall on my face getting in the boat when it's muddy. But on the floor here, vinyl drain plugs. Not a huge fan of the drain plugs as they're raised up a tiny bit with caps. I would wish they were more inverted into the floor or flush with the floor, but it does do the job and it does get the water out eventually. On the back deck here, let's start showing you guys the live well. This is a bigger live well than what's under the seat. Holds a pretty large size fish. Circulates water really well. It has good size. If I'm fishing a catfish tournament, I can store a pretty large catfish in here to keep alive for a tournament. Next to each side of the live well, we have jumper seats right here. I don't know if I can lift them up with the multi-bars in the way, but these seats here go all the way back if I move my multi-bars out of the way. But underneath each seat is storage as well. It's another nice spot to store some tackle. On the one side over here, I actually have another spare greased hub in there sitting in case I blow a hub when I'm on a trip for fishing. So super cool things to add on this boat. These jumper seats are great for extra passengers. And like I mentioned, this boat does have multi-bars, super adjustable. I can put them all the way up vertical. I can put them all the way down. I can move them to the side, and I can angle. This actually angles, this angles, and that swivels. So it's super adjustable. Multi-bars are an amazing product for boats, super well made, and I love them. And they are obviously paired with Driftmaster rod holders. They're Duo Pros. I've been using these for almost 12 years. They are amazing. Behind that, we have another seat pedestal mount here. And behind that is the big hatch right there. That is the 26-gallon fuel cell underneath there, with including the starting batteries. The bilge pump and the live well pump are all underneath there for easy access. We've gone over some of the other details on the boat. Now let's talk about the juice. Let's talk about what powers this giant 20-foot boat. This is a Yamaha 150-105 Outboard Jet Drive. How it works is water goes up the grates through the impeller around the turbine, and it comes out the jet drive right here. Let's lift this bad boy up, and I want to show you guys how this boat is tunnel hauled and how this whole system works. These are the grates for the jet drive. The water comes through the jet drive through these grates. It goes up into the impeller, goes around the turbine, and comes out right here on the top. This is where all the thrust comes from. And this right here is actually your reverse bucket. People always wonder, does the jet drive have reverse? It does have reverse. This will go all the way up, and it'll actually shoot the water backwards to give you reverse thrust. These actually have pretty solid reverse. When I put it in forward, this bucket will actually drop all the way down to give me full thrust when I throttle out. So that's how that works. This is actually in neutral position. It's actually half and half. So it actually it still has a little jump forward, but not bad at all. Below that, we have the Jet Doctor. This is aftermarket, and this allows you to get on plane a little bit faster. And I did not mention, this has intake fins on each side. Not needed for all size outboard jet drives, but on this 150, I have tested. If these fins are not on here, this thing performs horribly. Tara can attest, it is really, really bad without these fins. So definitely needed on here. As you can see, when we lowered the trim all the way to the bottom, that intake actually sits up into the tunnel, which allows the water to shoot through and up into the jet intake, allowing you more thrust, getting into that shallower water where your jet intake's actually above the bottom hull of the boat. Now that we've gone over everything about the boat, you guys learned a little bit about rods and reloads, rig here. Let's go out on the river. Let's go rip some skinny water and have some fun.